What is up, Turbos? This is Steve Turbo, and today we're going to be talking about the Injustice 2 official gameplay reveal trailer, and we're going to do a little breakdown here of everything that we saw in said trailer. So today at one of the big Mortal Kombat Pro tournaments, we finally got the official reveal of some gameplay for Injustice 2, which was just revealed a few days ago. And a lot of people have been waiting with bated breath to really see what was going to be new with Injustice 2, because when we saw the initial trailer for Injustice 2, we saw that there was a heavy influence of armor in the trailer. We saw that there was this huge emphasis on that, and we were all kind of scared because after that, the guys over at NetherRealms came out and said, "Oh yeah, armor is going to play a huge role in this game. There's going to be RPG-style loot drops, and it's going to affect the gameplay." And everybody kind of pumped the brakes a little bit. They were like, "Oh no, it's going to be like Street Fighter Cross Tekken Gems or like the Soul Calibur 4 crap." Ugh. So everybody kind of pumped the brakes a little bit on that for a bit, and we've all been kind of waiting to really see how that is going to play into effect. Now, the guys over at NetherRealm Studios are no dummies, so I would expect them to have kind of an answer for that. So let's go ahead and get a minor complaint about this trailer done right away. And really, this is kind of one of the only ones I have. Not Supergirl herself, but her face. You see what I said there? Butterface? But her face? But her face. Oh boy, guys. Okay. I was really hoping at this point that NetherRealms could do female faces properly. They still very much cannot. Granted, Cassie Cage is one exception, but still. Oh my goodness. Kara here looks like Chucky. She looks like Chucky. She is very, very frightening looking. Like, oh my god, I am not a fan of her face. It doesn't look good. Okay, that's just a minor complaint, okay? I love the fact that Supergirl's in, though. I will say that. That's awesome. Granted, I'm not a big fan of the Kryptonians, but that is awesome that Supergirl's in because she was a really requested character, so cool. Now, one thing to notice real quick, and this was something that Maximilian pointed out in his reaction video, Maximilian Dude, I should emphasize. There is a lot more color in this game. You notice that Kara's suit kind of pops a little bit more. The red is a little more dynamic. The yellow is a little more noticeable. The blue is kind of a lighter Robin's Egg blue, and that really looks good to me. I think it just absolutely looks great. This, for me as a Green Lantern fan, and obviously Red Lanterns by association, this is awesome seeing Atrocitus in the game and confirmed so early. This is so absolutely awesome. And what makes this even more awesome? This little dude right here. If you are not familiar with who this is, this little cat, that is Atrocitus' pet. His name is Dex-Starr. Dex-Starr. Think Dexter, but Dex-Starr. Dex-Starr is actually a Red Lantern from the planet Earth. He became a Red Lantern when he was enraged when his owner was brutally killed. The Ring sought him, sensed his rage, and gave him the power to take those killers out. And thus, well, lacking purpose, Dex-Starr became the loyal servant of Atrocitus, as most of the Red Lanterns do. Oh my god, that's just seeing Dex-Starr there is an awesome, it's an awesome nod to the Red Lanterns and the Red Lantern comics and the Green Lantern comics. I mean, this is just so cool seeing him here because he is, believe it or not, a prominent Red Lantern. Now, Atrocitus. Atrocitus is definitely a little more bulky looking, and he's definitely got a little bit more of a human looking face. I would say he's kind of got like a Thanos face where he's kind of normal looking. Definitely going all World of Warcraft with the lava pauldrons here. And his armor here is definitely a little more like molten. It's a little more. It's very Injustice-esque. It's very Injustice-inspired. It's not that real clean look that they have in the comics. But that's not a bad thing at all. I mean, I really think Atrocitus looks awesome. Just seeing him in a game is really cool, and I really think it's great that they're trying to draw attention to the other foes that the Green Lanterns have, other than just Sinestro. Granted, I love Sinestro, but the fact that they're bringing Atrocitus in is really something awesome. So great to see Atrocitus here. And again, we notice that there is all this color. It's awesome. Now, I know that, you know, the NetherRealm Studios games are usually grim and dark and gritty, but seeing this much color, it's something that you really appreciate, especially on a high-def screen. You really appreciate all those colors popping and all those just dynamics. Oh, it's just amazing. I love it. Oh, God, this face. Oh, God, this face, guys. You gotta do something about it. I just expect her to go, like, do Chucky's laugh. That weird laugh. I'm sorry. It just, she looks very scary. Very, very scary. Oh, my. So this is actually cool, and I know a lot of people will appreciate that. Supergirl has a costume very similar to Superman's. It is a full body suit. She doesn't have the skirt or anything like that. So that's really cool. I can't. This video moves so fast, but really, really cool. They gave her the full suit. Really awesome. So this is something that I really love. The fact that they have now brought in Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd is prominently a Flash villain, and he was a very requested character in the last game, and to be able to see this brought to life, this is really something awesome. And with, you know, Gorilla's getting more face time in video games, you know, that aren't Donkey Kong, that is really cool. So seeing Grodd in here definitely seeing both Grodd and Atrocitus tells me that they're not going for the traditional bag of DC enemies. They're kind of branching out, and they're really pulling in some that people may not know. Which, again, if you don't know who Gorilla Grodd is or Atrocitus, I mean, no, that's your casual showing there. Oh, that's snobby. I'm sorry. That's snobby of me. I apologize, everybody. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that this game is still, I'm sure, very early in development, and it's not due out until next year. I'm sure it won't be out until maybe like March, April, or May of next year. So some things are gonna look a little rough. But let's focus on the positives, shall we? Aquaman's armor here, very awesome, very dynamic. You notice all the little details and the chainmail. You notice the nice orange gold texture here, the almost like kind of like sea glass texture to his shoulder plate, the nice refreshing blues and aquamarine colors, just very awesome. And even notice the little details in his trident. I mean, this is just something that's really, really cool and really makes you appreciate it. And kind of takes you away from the Donald Trump looking face, and it kind of makes you draw more attention to the armor, and it looks really awesome. Ah, to see Grodd, that's just super awesome. Now, one thing I can say is that I could see Grodd, especially as evidenced here, playing very much like Quan Chi in some ways. Grodd, you know, he'll have the mind control, the telepathy. That might play a big factor into his playstyle, and I think that's really cool. So he might be a Quan Chi, kind of a mix of a Quan Chi and potentially like a grappler. So that'd be really something awesome. I'd love to see that. Little exchange. Really cool. Now, okay, this is something that I'm worried about right away. So one big thing that Injustice 1 had an issue with was zoning. It was a very zone-heavy game, especially in the early parts of its early release. People would main Deathstroke and Sinestro, just hang back, Superman, and just spam their projectiles. I'm really hoping that's not an element with this game. I don't mind zoning for a character or two, but when a large majority of the cast can just zone, that takes a lot of fun out of the game, just because you've got to try and work your way around that. Now let's take a look here. Kara is roughly half screen from Atrocitus, and that's a pretty big-ass gap for this freaking eye laser to hit, man. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane, and I really am hoping that that's not too spam heavy. I really don't like that. That's one thing I really hated about Superman in that game, was just that you could spam those eye lasers so easy, and it just became so annoying to get around all the time. Now, one thing I did notice was that Dexter is still out right here. Now, I didn't notice him in the previous clip where Kara was fighting with Atrocitus, so it really kind of begs the question on if there are going to be Mortal Kombat X style variants in this game. And if so, how does assist characters like Dexter play in? that is actually something really worth considering because, again, going back to the beginning trailer, I did not see... You see Dexstar right here, but you don't see him here during the fight. Nowhere to be found. No Dexstar. Interesting, no? Alright, so let's go back to where we were. Now, one thing to note, it looks like Stage Interactables are indeed back, as evidenced in the initial Aquaman trailer, or the Aquaman portion of this trailer. You notice that the little squid tentacles come up here. I don't know if that is a part of Aquaman's attack or not. That very well could be a stage hazard of the Atlantis stage. Hard to tell, really. And you notice that Atrocitus was throwing a sewer, like a sewer cap right there. So, that definitely gives us the indication that Stage Transition, Stage Interactables are all back. So that's not a bad thing, and I thought they were a really cool element, and they really kind of brought that superheroic feel to the game. So that's really cool that Stage Interactables and Stage Transitions are back. I'm totally cool with that. Now, another thing to notice is that every single character in this game, they seem to make this focus on oh, okay. Now, this is something really, really cool. Just to kind of break away for just a moment and to give you guys kind of a little history lesson on the Red Lanterns. So, Atrocitus is just spewing the red energy on Superman. Now, with Red Lanterns, what's really cool about the Red Lanterns is the fact that when a person becomes a Red Lantern, that means they have completely given into their rage. And when they give into their rage, a Red Lantern ring seeks them out and says that great rage is within their heart. And what happens from there is when they accept the Red Lantern ring, they immediately just vomit up all their blood. All the blood in their body is just vomited right up. And then it is replaced with the burning red rage energy. Now that red rage energy courses through their veins, so they are essentially beings of pure rage. And the only way that a person can actually remove themselves from the ring is by a Blue Lantern's power. You cannot take the ring off of a Red Lantern. If you do, they die. That is how that works. So that is something really cool. So we just see, you could almost make the little metaphor that Atrocitus is throwing up blood all over Superman, and that is really fucking cool. Now, one other interesting thing here. Notice Grodd. Notice how he's wearing a very basic armor set here. He then upgrades to something more. A couple more pieces, a little more aerodynamic, and then in the blink of an eye, immediately changes again. Notice that that set was in 3s. Really makes me think that there could potentially be 3 variations, maybe? No? There could very well be a normal mode play, and there are 3 different variations, and that's where the armor comes in. Now, the same thing with Atrocitus. Notice that initially, his torso's covered. So notice how Atrocitus' torso is covered up here, and so are his arms. And then, almost immediately, more spikies, abdomen covered up, and then there's a final form where it is just like overpowering him. He's got horns coming out of his head, he's got like this large like helmet, and he's just like teeming with rage. So that's really cool. It really makes me wonder if there are going to be 3 variations. You saw that with Batman just now. You'll see it with just about every character in the game. Now this is actually something really cool, but we'll focus on that in a moment. So you see this with every character that they showed off 3 different armor sets. Now whether or not those are variations like in Mortal Kombat X, that still remains to be seen, especially considering the amount of detail that is in each single set. Now, Black Manta. In my reaction video, I was super excited thinking that Black Manta was actually going to be confirmed for Injustice 2, but I don't believe he is. I believe, unfortunately, he is actually a stage transition element. I don't believe he is actually in the game, and that is a huge tragedy because Black Manta is an incredibly cool character, but I don't believe we are going to be seeing him in this game. So it looks like Black Manta is simply just part of a stage transition. So I am sorry to all you hopefuls that thought Black Manta was going to be in, but don't lose hope, because remember that Martian Manhunter was also part of a stage before, and hey, even my boy Alex in Street Fighter V was part of a stage, so don't lose hope. There's always another possibility. Oh boy, now this is really truly something awesome. This right here, now this obviously is showing off all the different ultimate attacks here. This is the Butcher. Now this goes again into my really awesome appreciation and love of the Red Lanterns. This is actually the Butcher, and the Butcher is the spirit of the Red Lanterns. He is the actual spirit of rage. Sort of like Parallax is the spirit of fear, or the entity of fear, I guess you could say. The Butcher, he's this just big beast, this just big giant rage beast. And this is awesome that he is featured as a part of Atrocitus's ultimate attack. So this is really, really cool. Just very awesome and dynamic. I mean, I absolutely love everything. They definitely tried to make everything way more personal. Like, they tried to give every single ultimate attack a little bit more personality rather than just the rather plain stuff they had in Injustice 1. A lot of the ultimates in Injustice 1 were not all that great. They were really kind of quick, and they were really safe. So this is cool to see all these different elements to these ultimate attacks. You know, you got Batman with the Batwing, you got Aquaman sending a fucking ocean beast, you've got Atrocitus sending out the Butcher. It is really something awesome and cool. So everything that I've seen so far leads me to believe that not only is this going to be a dynamic game that is going to hold a lot of traits from Injustice 1 in it, it is going to really be a much more colorful and dynamic game. I really love that, and again, you'll appreciate that more the more you see it on an HD screen. The colors and all that are just going to pop beautifully, especially when we get the final product. And Ed and the guys have said that they're going to try and make Injustice 2 a much more vast and larger roster, so we can definitely expect to see some of the normals that you would expect to see in an Injustice DC Superheroes game. You'll see the whole Justice League, that goes without saying. You'll see Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Hawkgirl. I mean, that goes without saying, so don't worry. But he said there's going to be plenty of new faces, and we've already seen that with Supergirl, Grodd, and Atrocitus. So let's hope they keep the hits coming. I'm personally hoping for Constantine, Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, Swamp Thing. I would love to see those, just to name a few, but believe me, my list is really vast on who I would love to see in this game. But that's all for my trailer breakdown, guys. Let me know what you think of Injustice 2. Let me know what you think. I apologize if I sound a little tired. It's been a busy day prepping for a busy week ahead with E3 coming at us, and we're actually set to learn more about Injustice 2 at E3, so let's hope that they reveal some more characters. I'd love to see it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of Injustice 2. Are you super hyped? Do you like what you see here, or are you just kind of eh? And if you are kind of eh, and you were excited, I am really sorry, and I hope something comes along to change your mind on that, because this game does look awesome, and I'm really holding out a lot of high hopes for it. So guys, make sure you like this video, share it to the people who you think would be interested, and most of all, please subscribe to the Hyper Arcade Turbo Bros YouTube channel. We are going to be coming at you with a whole lot of E3 stuff coming up next week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And the more we know about Injustice, I will be here to bring it to you guys. Do not worry. Alright guys, thank you all for watching this video. This is Steve Turbo. I'll see you later.